There he is.
What is up, brother?
Man, what a time to be alive. It has been like little less than a week. I think it's literally been like 6, 7 days since our last episode, and it seems like the world is just on fire.
Bro, when I tell you that so much gone down within the first month of this year, I am blown away.
I have to say, I'm going to have to rewrite my 2023 disaster bingo card because I did not see Chinese balloon being on it.
Right. Chinese balloon. Russia saying if NATO sends tanks, they'll end the world. I'm pretty sure North Korea said some bullshit in there.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting at home being like, I made fried chicken today in an air fryer.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, dude. The dad force is with you so strong right now.
Oh, dude, if don't even get me started, man. I'm gonna start yabbering on about smoking meats and cutting the lawn in my Reeboks.
It wouldn't be the first time I would want to put your meat in my mouth.
Ah! Oh man. So yeah, so like I guess a little housekeeping real quick. Welcome back everybody. This is I believe episode 8 now. Uh so yeah, so I kind of got over my retardation and figured out how to do YouTube. It's kind of a pain in the butt with the app we use trying to download the files and convert everything over to be good on YouTube. But same
right
name.
when YouTube wants to ban all gun shit.
Yeah, so little late to the party, but we're here to rock it. So,
did you see what they're getting videos removed for?
The dumbest things, dude. It was like, was it like loading mags, unloading mags, charging the weapon, disassembling the weapon?
Loading any firearm with a 30-round magazine, banned. Putting a suppressor on is modifying the gun, banned. Taking the gun apart and putting it back together is showing people how to build an AR, banned. Like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to try to do the same thing with Rumble. I downloaded Rumble and I'm still trying to figure out how Rumble works. But yeah, I'm going to try the same thing with Rumble. I think with our podcast, try to upload it on there. If for those who are listening that can't tell, we kind of have no idea what we're doing, so we're winging it. That's authentic. So
yeah,
it's organic, just like the juice you drink.
I know how to run a 45, boy. I ain't know nothing about no phone.
Yeah, dude. You want to talk about dad life? I'm sitting here trying to like have my 7-year-old tell me how to run my phone. But yeah, so we are up on YouTube. I've got our trailer and 2 episodes up there. The conversion stuff is a little bit more complicated than I thought, so it'll be a while, but we're eventually gonna get all the episodes up on YouTube. I'm gonna try to do the same thing with Rumble. Try to spread our voice out there a little bit. So same channel, same name as everything. Mid-tier thoughts. You look it up on YouTube. I should be the thing that comes up. Same thing with Rumble. Hopefully, I'll figure out how that works.
And if any of you know how to work this better than us, please educate us.
Yes. Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm not going to pay you because we ain't got no money. But free advice is really very well appreciated.
I'll send you feet pics.
Hey, that's money. Right? That's cash money right there. I'd send feet pics, but my feet are gross. Anyway, so yeah, so we got that. We got craziness going on. This whole Chinese balloon thing is I don't know why we haven't just shot the thing down. The whole time I'm sitting here and I'm like, surely someone in Montana has a plane and a gun.
A prop plane.
I'm like, somebody somewhere, I'm sure, and I've heard things like, oh, well, it's too high, or it's too low. Take a wild shot, man. I mean, at this point, an RC drone with a fork is doing more than the government. So
I know someone in Texas has a potato gun large enough. I know,
bro, dude, that's what I'm saying is I guarantee you between like the Black Rifle Coffee Company dudes who put like that 20 millimeter gun on a Prius, right?
Yep.
Demolition Ranch and Brandon Herrera. One of them, I'm sure, can find a dude with a big enough gun. Wait, hold on a second. Where's FPS Russia when we need him? Remember when that dude was shooting like 20 millimeter anti-aircraft guns?
I think he's still in jail.
No, he's not in jail anymore. But he only went to jail for like 2 months. He went to jail for like 2 months.
Oh, really?
It wasn't that big a deal. He's on the Painkiller Anonymous, the PKA podcast. Pretty funny story if you actually listen to his prison story.
He
Um,
is not.
he's not what?
He's not on that podcast, is he?
Yeah, the PKA podcast. He's on there like all the time.
Oh, I didn't even know it. I don't
Yeah,
listen to them that often.
yeah. I looked him up one time to kind of see where he was at and found it, and then I found his prison story and listened to all of it. It's hilarious. He was only in jail for like 2 months. Also, dude, that guy had a way more. You thought he was wild on camera. Some of the stories he was telling, like, granted, I don't know how the validity of this, but I guess he
Mhm.
used to hang out with the Oh, I don't remember what they were. You remember like those Canadian dudes that were always doing like the super crazy food challenge things? I can't
Oh
remember
yeah,
what they
I know what you're
um
talking about.
yeah, like they did one where like they deep fried a chicken wing like 100 times and it was like a 4 foot ball and they tried to eat it. Epic
Yeah.
meal time. Epic meal time. That's what it was. Yeah, I guess they used to hang out and have some pretty wild nights. Like
and that
definitely, yeah.
and that's
Just
how he
some,
became a felon.
yeah, 100%. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, this big ball in
Right.
the sky is
Anyway,
just super obvious and super stupid. But what shouldn't be super obvious and super stupid is you as a prepared citizen, right?
yeah, and
So
now of all times.
exactly, right. Sticking out, in my opinion, is not necessarily a good thing. I like to live now. Granted, we all have acquired certain like tactical clothing and crap throughout our experiences and our time and everything. But it's like it's occasionally okay to put on a pair of 511 pants and go out in town or whatever. But it's just like don't be overly obvious. Um, you
Five
know,
11. Yeah.
hey, I'm just saying we all have a pair somewhere. We bought them for a class or bought them at one point. We thought it was cool. We all at some point, and it's like, hey man, like you don't need to wear those every day and be like a cement commando, dude. Try to blend, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's more important than like a big thing because sometimes you don't even get out of your car, right? You go through the drive-through, you go to Walmart, you do your pickup order and stuff like that. Your vehicle says a lot about you.
Yes, it does. And that's another point too, because you can be super gray man, right? You could come in like skinny jeans and some like super gay shirt, yeah, and just like give off
Insert
yeah,
insert generic like T-shirt.
yeah, and just you could just look super hipstery, like straight out of Seattle. But if you roll up in like a jacked up F-250 with like gun stickers covering the entire back of it, like come and take it, all this jazz. I
Yeah.
don't need to guess at that point. Like I see you pull in the parking lot, and I'm like, homie's got a gun,
Oh
or at
yeah.
least
I
the
mean,
likelihood of one being in your vehicle extremely high.
and it's fucking hard because like I am a huge fan of the truck community. I love jacked up trucks. I love all that. I love the big wheels. Like
Hmm.
I love man. I'm a douche, and my inner animal's a douche. Um, but it's when I see an F-150 up on a 6-inch lift with some 35s or something like that, I immediately know there's a Glock 19 in his glove box. I know.
Either that or he spent all of his money on the lift kit, so he's rocking a Taurus GTC.
Right? It's a Taurus in the glove box.
He's got to pay child support, man. Like he's living on a budget.
um, and yes, even if it doesn't involve like gun stickers, if it's the pro Trump, fuck Biden, Biden Ligma, Sugma, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you have a gun in your vehicle, and I
Yeah.
don't like to dive into politics too much. Just because whatever you believe in, either way, as long as you don't fuck with my guns, I'm cool. If you're hardcore liberal, if you're Republican, I hate both of you anyway. So as long as you display these things, you're displaying your character, and you're displaying
Yes.
parts of your character, and your character describes what you have in your vehicle. And if I
Well,
see a Trump sticker, I know there's a gun in the vehicle.
well, and let's be real too, right? Um, if you had let's go Biden or screw Biden, right? One side of the political aisle is more likely to destroy your vehicle or try to get what's in it based on the political sticker you have than the other, right? like you're probably more likely to get broken into with a Trump sticker, regardless of them thinking you have a gun, and mainly just because you have a Trump sticker, than you are with a Biden sticker, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the whole point of it, like I look at it this way, right? Like you wear different camouflage patterns to blend in different environments when you're outdoors, right? Why would you not apply those similar concepts to your vehicle and everywhere else? Like you're not you're the everyone's like, oh man, I got to get this latest and greatest brand new camo scheme and pattern. Like, look, dude, I get it. Like I'm a huge history nerd. I love the camouflage and everything that's out there, and I probably have enough camouflage to blend in with like 6 countries that don't exist anymore. Uh, if we ever get invaded by Rhodesia, I'm solid.
I was
But
just about to say Rhodesia calling your name.
yeah, but when you think about like your vehicle, you're using that every day, right? And what is your view like you said, like what does your vehicle say about you, right? It's cool to have stickers. Is I try to stay away. Like I used to be like when I first really got into it, I used to have gun stickers and political stickers, and I thought I was being like an edgy right wing kid. I was stationed over in Seattle or in the Bremerton area at the time at the Navy, and I was like, yeah, man, screw the libs. And then it just kind of dawned on me one day that I was like, um, who like no one has ever read a bumper sticker and changed their opinion. You know what I mean? Like no one's looked at my bumper sticker and been an armed polite society is a polite society. My entire outlook has changed.
Wow.
you know and so yeah, I mean it just tells people at that point that like, hey, I disagree and I'm the outcast in the area, and makes you a target. I think it's one of those things where, if you want to have stickers, like nothing wrong with that. If you want to have like a, P&W sticker for Pacific Northwest, like where we're at, or, you got like some cool stickers, some car stickers, like coffee shops sometimes give out stickers,
Yeah.
like, you know, so you want to do something like that, sure, man. But it's like just being cognizant of trying to blend in with your area, try to not have political stickers on your vehicle, especially if you tend to be in an area where you are of the opposing view. Um, if you're in a very left leaning area and you're a more right leaning guy, maybe not put that sticker on your vehicle.
And I get it if you want to buy stickers to support your local gun shop, whatever it may be,
Oh
or
yeah, sure,
or
sure.
or you buy stickers to support a company you really like. Um, so put it on a notebook or put it on your inside dash if you really want. If you
Water bottle.
really, yeah, water bottle. There's things that you can rep and still blend in pretty well. I mean, you do carry your water bottle in a lot of places. I wouldn't suggest putting on, like, if you get patches, putting on your fucking shoulder and on your backpack and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
it's like with me, like with patches, I've got like a felt board at home, that I put on my patch. I used to have them on my old truck. I'd have them on my ceiling, and I thought it was kind of cool. But I was thinking about it one day, and I was like, I mean, all it takes is for someone to kind of glance at my window, see all those stickers, and be like, all right, this is the truck I'm breaking into.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, come on, guys. Crackheads, everyone makes fun of them. It's funny, but they're not dumb people. You know, people when you think like, oh, I'm gonna buy this Lucas Bakken sticker and I'm gonna put it on my car because, like, it's just a T-Rex. Like, no one really knows what it is. More people know what that is than you think.
Yeah, well, the other thing too, like, and I can tell you from personal experience, when my wife had gave birth to my son, uh, we it was in the Seattle area at the hospital we were at, and we were parked in the hotel. We were parked in the hospital parking area, and I had just come there from doing something, and so like in the vehicle, I had a go bag in it, and in my center console, I had a gun locked in there, and I was trying to get a feel for like, oh, can I carry in a hospital or not? I didn't know at the time. I didn't at that time. I was like real cautious, right? So I left it in the vehicle. Well, my truck got broken into, right? And I had a bunch of like, gun stickers and stuff. Luckily, they didn't get the gun. All they got was my spare backpack with clothes. They stole like my underwear and my socks, and they could have took the go bag that had ammo and stuff in it and everything else. They could have took my pistol. They didn't take any of that. They literally just grabbed the first backpack that was sitting there and ran. But I purposely parked between an Escalade and a Lexus to make sure that my vehicle didn't get messed with, because my thought process was like, oh, why wouldn't they go after this expensive cars? But no, they went after the Yee Mobile, um, And went there, and I assume it was probably because a lot of those stickers were like, "Hey, man, there's probably gonna be something worth it in here."
Yeah, there's probably a firearm in this vehicle.
Yeah, and it's like whether he's gonna keep it or sell it, it's gonna make him some cash pretty
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Um, yeah, dude. Like just like the organizer. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool. It is
What it?
organizers. You put them on the back of your seats. You can put your little
Uh,
fucking
yeah,
axe on it, and your backpack. You can hang it on there, and you can throw your
yeah.
your
I think it's
bag
like
gun, and it's cool.
Vertex or Magpul makes it where it's like that hard rubbery thing, but it's like a webbing system, and you can put all your crap on there.
Yeah. And it's fast.
Yeah,
It works. Don't get me wrong. If I was in a patrol vehicle still, I had like a little webbing like that in my patrol vehicle when I was down in San
mhm.
Diego, when I was stationed down there.
Yeah,
And it's really good. But think about it, I'm in an operational setting. I'm in an operational
yeah,
environment, things
exactly.
like that. But with in your personal vehicle, I haven't been in too many gunfights just driving down the road, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but I think about it too, where I'm like, we were talking about this before the episode, and my thing is like, if I were someone who had to break into a vehicle, if I see one of those organizers in your vehicle and it's got all these molly pouches everywhere and everything's visible like that, odds are, even if there's not a gun in the vehicle, I'm just gonna take whatever other valuable crap you have because I'm probably gonna find something good,
Yeah.
right? Because you're gonna have good stuff. And that's the thing is, I think those like they're marketed for everybody, right? But like really, those would excel, and like you said, in an operational environment, or even if you're live out in the middle of nowhere and you just need it for like a work truck kind of thing or whatever. But like just your average commuter going to your 9 to 5, Jeff from accounting is probably better served not having that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gotta admit it. I was a douche. I drove a Jeep Wrangler all jacked up and shit. I had all sorts of shit on there. I had a shovel and stuff like that. I had the organizers and stuff on there. And I looked at it, and I drove around for 6, 7 months plus with them, and I didn't take a single thing off of those off those organizers. And I was like, why do I have these? It's just asking for someone to break into my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that there's definitely a certain element to, using like a certain amount of, I guess we can call it camouflage or at least the concept thereof to your vehicle to make it to where you don't stand out as much, right? Even the type of vehicle you drive. So, prime example, right? I've got an F-150 and I have and that's like our normal out and about car. And I've also got my beater with a heater. I've got an O2 white Subaru that's no tint. It's beat up. It looks rough. And I used to joke around that everyone gets surprised when they see that the lesbian dance theory arts major to get out of it is me. Um, because like I've never seen someone drive like it's a Subaru Outback, right? So it's not even like the cool Subaru, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the only people I've ever seen drive a Subaru Outback are vapors, angry lesbians, and my grandparents.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think my grandma had that.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like it's like a requirement that you either have to have a vape pen, be attracted to the same sex, or over like qualify for AARP. But the car, like if I'm driving that, like looking at that, I don't look at this thing and think that guy's got a gun. I look at that thing and think, yeah, he's probably poor.
Yeah, he's probably a.
So, yeah, like I'm pretty sure if someone broke into that, they'd leave me some cash.
I would
And
see
then,
it and
like
be like,
and like
that guy's.
they'd
I'd
leave
see
me the
it and
keys
go, that
to a
guy's
new
very mid
car.
tier. I can tell
Yeah,
that guy's mid tier.
yeah, they'd leave me the keys to a new car. But like, sorry, bro, I stole this one for you. It's in the lot out back. But yeah, so like the type of vehicle you drive, it's aware if it's be cognizant of those kind of things. Just kind of pay attention. And the thing is, again, like, does it fit into your area, right? And that kind of goes both ways, right? If you're the only guy in your suburban area driving a big jacked up truck, right, versus you're the only guy in your hick town with a Prius, like either way, you stand out, and people know what you drive, right? And it's not very blend in and ish, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, as far as like that organizer thing, that I think that does bring a good point as far as like what to keep in your vehicle. Like what are some things that are good to have in your vehicle? And for me, like an
Oh,
IFAC is
definitely,
crucial.
dude.
Like the the odds of you getting in a car accident and needing an IFAC vastly higher than in a shootout. So I think the idea of having like a good IFAC with a tourniquet, somewhere that's easy to get to, absolutely necessary. Usually, like at least like maybe a flashlight of some type.
Yeah.
I usually like okay, so for like stocking stuffers, I'll go to Walmart and buy like the $1 or $2 like flashlights that run off like a single AA.
Mm-hmm.
And they're crappy flashlights, right? But they're nice to have just to have a flashlight around when you don't want to have to go find like your really good one if it's not on you. So I usually keep like one of those in the glove box just as like an extra light. And like like I said, the IFAC. Obviously you're like your toe straps, your jacks, all that the vehicle stuff, and then if you live in a good enough area and you have a good vehicle to put it in, I'm not against having a truck bag or some type of system like that in a vehicle. I would just caution anyone who does leave it in their vehicle all the time to like definitely know your area and gauge that. I don't like the idea. So like when it comes to like truck guns, right? People talk about the idea of truck guns. I do not leave a gun in a vehicle overnight. I will
Oh,
not do
never,
that.
never, ever.
Never. Like I don't even like leaving it in the vehicle if I have to like go to a federal building or something. Like I know I was like I can't bring it in there, so I'm gonna lock it in the center console. But it's like I don't even I feel I don't know, I feel super uncomfortable doing that.
Dude, it's literally it's like legitimately the only thing I think about the whole time I'm in there.
100%. Like, dude, I'll be sitting there and I'm like, man, if someone breaks in right now, it's gonna really suck. But yeah, like I don't leave a gun in a vehicle overnight. Now, if you live in a rural area and you don't have neighbors or you're miles away from people, like even then, I would kind of caution you at that point still, because like I've been surprised with some family members that live way out in the boonies, and just random crackhead shows up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, we're 15 miles from the road. How the hell did you get here? You know?
Dude, yeah, I say no, even if I am in a super rural area and shit like that. Like meth heads and crackheads, they are not afraid to get down and dirty all the way out there to grab some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
my grandma,
absolutely.
he's like out in the middle of nowhere, dude, out all the way out in Dishman. And she got a ladder stolen from the side of her house, an aluminum ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I don't like the idea of leaving a gun in the vehicle. Now, if I'm going on a road trip or something, I might add a few extra things to my vehicle loadout that I'm bringing with me. Usually in the wintertime, I'll definitely like toss a sleeping bag or so have some kind of like blanket system or something in the truck in case there's an accident or something, or
Yeah.
I just need to have that. But yeah, usually having some water. I usually have like the bag that I bring with me if I'm going somewhere, or like my truck bag, I guess you could say. I usually have like a smaller IFAC in it, an MRE, and a couple bottles of water. Just something a little extra to have in there for emergencies. But yeah, like keep whatever tools and whatever kind of stuff you're gonna have in there. But I also like put all of my stuff out of sight. I don't leave anything out to where it could be seen. And the benefit of having kids is that my truck does not like my truck is never clean because of my children. You know, like like my kid, I will have more coats left in my truck than he has in the house. But it almost camouflages it in a way because anything that's in there is just covered by my kids' coats. Or like shirts, socks, shoes, whatever. And it almost like blends it in a way. It's like an urban ghillie suit for my car.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, dude. I 100% agree that you need to be ready in some forms of like medical and heat, especially in our cold climates. In the hotter climates, you should definitely still carry something, water, anything along those terms.
Mm-hmm.
But with that in mind as well, I used to be a big guy on truck guns, just like everyone else during the riots and shit like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want to be ready, ready, ready. And what I noticed is that all I did was keep a firearm in the vehicle that definitely could have got stolen at any point, and kept a lot of stuff like that in the vehicle. When I ended up just carrying my normal everyday carry pistol more often than anything.
Yeah.
and it was very, very useful in every circumstance I could use it in.
And
So
on
the
the
whole,
concept of truck gun, real quick, I just wanted to add this really in here too. I'm not against having a truck gun in the vehicle with you, like a dedicated gun for that. But I'm also just like not going to leave it in there all the time. Like I'll bring an AR pistol with me if I'm going to go like over to the coast or something, but I'm
yeah,
not going to leave it unattended in the vehicle.
yeah, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying like it's a bad
Yeah.
idea. It's a great thing to have, especially if something actually knocks off. I'm glad that I have a better gun than just a handgun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But more than we're talking 9 times out of 10, the thing that's going to happen where I'm going to get into that situation of using a firearm, it's going to be in something really fast, really quick. Not a lot of time to grab that truck gun. It's just going to be a pull, shoot 3 times, and the fight's over.
And hopefully, realistically, too, if you are in a vehicle, as long as that vehicle is operational, the ideal situation is just to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, get out of
there. I'm sure we've all seen those footages, the footage of, one of the ones that thinks I remember clearly was like, I don't remember where it was. Basically, this guy's coming up into an on-ramp, right, on a freeway, and the car in front of him stops, and the car behind him stops, and they all get out with guns, and the dude's like, screw it, and just guns it. And they kind of parked off to the left, and so he pushes to the right, pit maneuvers the car, hits a dude, and keeps going. He's like, because his whole thing, I mean, that guy could have had a gun, right? But you got 4 dudes in the car behind you and 4 dudes in the car in front of you, 2 dudes in the car behind you. You're going to go 1-on-6 and hope you come out alive, or are you going to, get the heck out of Dodge?
Yeah. No, not all situations are like that. Like, if you hear shots coming from the mall, do your due diligence as an American armed citizen and save and preserve life around you. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Push the threat.
Very situational dependent,
Yeah.
Speaking of pushing a threat and being in a situation like that, like if you were, in a mall or something like that, let's talk about gray man, a word that is overused.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gray man is Urban Dictionary here for you. It's literally just blend into your surroundings.
Yeah, I love the memes where it's like nobody knows I'm carrying a gun starter kit, and it's like wearing combat boots, 511 pants, tactical belt, Glock shirt, Glock collared shirt tucked into it, Oakley sunglasses with gun branded cap, G-Shock watch, just got out of my Toyota Tundra, or my Toyota Tacoma.
There you go.
Nobody knows I'm carrying a gun. It's like,
yeah, dude. Glock 19 still poking out because shirt's too tight.
Yeah, yeah. I feel personally attacked. Of course, I know this guy. He's me.
Is this a Spider-Man meme? We're all just pointing at each other.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I remember working at the gun shop, and I had a guy come in one time. No joke. The guy comes in. He's wearing blue jeans. He's got Solomon's on, and he's wearing a SIG jacket over a Colt branded shirt with a Springfield hat. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to get a SIG 365. I like to be low key. I like how small of a profile it is. I really don't like telegraphing that I'm a gun guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I couldn't tell."
Yep, you're doing good, buddy.
It's like, couldn't tell you're wearing like 3 of the top brands that exist. Like 3 that if anyone was going to just look at it and be like, oh, what's that?
But also, if you want to talk about being gray, man, we worked with 3 people that looked identical.
Mm-hmm.
To a T. The same pants, the same Solomons, the same skinny blue jeans. Same comb overs, clean cut.
Hot take here. If your version of gray man is to look like Lucas Botkin, you are not a gray man. Everyone knows.
People or at know least, who he is now.
At least everyone who is also carrying a gun knows.
And that's not a bad thing to advertise if we're all carrying guns, but that's not reality.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, too, is it's like, look, know your environment, right? If you're the only, like, country hick kid rolling around, like, okay, let me back up. I made a post about this on Instagram, right? Had a couple pictures of camouflage patterns, and then I had just some normal clothes. I had like a button-up collared shirt, like just a normal like office shirt type deal, and jeans, and then just like a sweatshirt and jeans. And my whole thing on here was like, look through these photos. Like, you notice how there's camouflage and then there's just normal clothes. What am I trying to do? What would that be? And it's like, well, look, in both instances, These are camouflage, right? You going around everywhere in your 511 pants and your operator slick, call it the soft shell jacket, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and right? Um, okay, you've got a gun, right? If you're, just trying to dress normal, like where I'm at, right? This area is kind of a blend of, like urban and rural. So you could blend in rolling in cowboy boots and, a pair of jeans, or you could blend in looking a little bit more urban either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So either way, you just kind of know your environment, right? But if you're rolling in looking like you just walked out of a 511 magazine, right? Which I'll admit I've been guilty of at times. Um, you're not giving anything. You're not like you're not hiding anything. You know.
I would 100,000% agree with you. And also, Flannel Daddy ruined it for everyone too. If I see a guy with tight blue jeans on and a flannel on, I'm like, that guy most likely has a gun. And then I look behind him and he's carrying a tourniquet. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have to say that too. When it comes to the tight blue jean thing, man, for us fluffy boys, I don't know how the hell y'all are packing a gun in there. I'm just trying to button the damn pants. Relaxed fit, my guy. That's the way to go.
Can't even get the belt on, bro.
I didn't realize this was
guns in the pocket. Guns in the pocket.
Tourniquet at that point. It's a double-leg tourniquet. But yeah, like, and that's the thing is like, there's very discreet ways to do things. For example, um, you know, if you like, some people will have like a backpack, right? Like I've seen things where like like those Vertex backpacks, they're usually like the one sling bags, like the messenger bags or stuff like that. Like Vertex does a good job of making a bag, a backpack that doesn't look like a gun bag, right? Because they've got kind of like those like hiker colors where it's like really bright yellow and blue, and that kind of looks similar like a North Face bag or something, right?
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. And I get the idea of having a bag gun, whether it be a smaller bag where you're just keeping a pistol in it. Maybe your environment you can't on the body carry, so that's the next best thing.
Yeah.
Or you like pack a bigger handgun in it, or even in some cases, like a small rifle caliber type deal. But that only works if you're in an environment where having a backpack doesn't make you stand out, right?
Yeah.
If you're in an office setting, that's usually not that bad, right? It does, or somewhere like that where it's not really going to make you stand out, right? So other people might have backpacks, maybe throw your lunch in there or something in a different pocket.
Theme park, totally acceptable.
Yeah, yeah. And however, if you're in an area like, I my experience has been most like suit and tie type professions. You don't usually see a lot of people with backpacks. Kind of might be a little weird, Just it's one of those things. Just know your environment, right? Just know like, hey, if what I'm bringing gonna kind of like stand out, or if you're going to go somewhere, right? Like, hey, family's like, let's go to the beach, and you're like, better put my combat boots on. Might be kind of weird.
Is there ways to covertly carry stuff? Absolutely. I have this really cool like little box kind of deal, and I usually throw my littlest gun I got in the cooler.
Wow, yeah, that's just, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we have a little cooler bag, and I carry it like that. It's like a little waterproof case. I throw my gun in there. We're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to change with your environment. You're going to the theme park. Obviously, appendix carrying is not going to be great at a theme park. So I have like this little fanny pack kind of deal, and I can throw my cig in there. Going to like when I still worked at the gun shop, it was very okay to have backpacks. Everyone brought a backpack, and you bring your lunch and stuff like that. I had an entire 12.5 in there.
Yeah. 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 Well, so I'm glad you brought up the fanny pack. The fanny pack is underrated, and this is my dad voice coming back here. Is I respect the fanny pack. Okay. So, but I have to say this though. There's a lot of really good companies out there that are making cool stuff, but they're all making like these M81 or like multicam or whatever, all these camouflage pattern things, and they're just kind of gun guy-ish, right? I have like what is the brand? It's like the Walmart, it's like Ozark Creek or something, like their outdoor brand. It's like $6, it's a piece of crap. I've taken that thing with me to a country music festival every year for the last 8 years. It is disgusting with how stained it is, but dude, that thing is like the most nondescript fanny pack in the world. I
Oh
just
yeah,
look
dude.
I look like a goofy dad. Like that's it. Because like in the summertime, if I want to take the kids to the park and it's like I'm wearing basketball shorts, gonna throw the Glock 26 in the bag, spare mag, phone, and wallet because I don't have pockets or I don't want to carry stuff in my pockets. It's like throw that thing on me around me, and I just look like a Walmart dad. I just look poor.
Dude, I think it's awesome because like my girlfriend has it.
Thinking this guy's got a gun, you know?
My girlfriend's got this awesome little fanny pack that I stole from her, so I have no idea how much it costs. I think it's super cheap though, and it's literally a T-Rex throw.
Oh yeah. See, like no one looked at that and think he's got a gun.
Yeah, right. It's a T-Rex throwing up a rainbow, and I'm just like, boom, got the blizzy. Like I'm just.
I mean, it's like that, like the super big trope where you've got like the guitar case and it's like make love, not war, and like guns are bad, and like the super hippie vibe to it, you know. But me inside, you've got like 8 guns
Full
floating
blown
around
Thompson.
there.
Full
Yeah,
blown Thompson.
Chicago typewriter. But yeah, you know, it's that kind of concept, and it applies to clothing too. And also, like, it's one of those things where I live is kind of a military town, right? And it's one of those things that like be kind of aware of. And certain things you can't control, right? Because like you do have to get a haircut in the military fairly often, right? But it's like just also kind of know that like if you stand out, be aware that you stand out and try to mitigate as best as possible. If you're
Right.
a fighting age male with a short haircut and you're wearing gun related clothing, not only or like, you know, similar type of brands, Black Rifle Coffee Company, Nine Line Apparel, things like that. I'm assuming two things. One, you're in the local branches, the local branch military base, whichever one that is. And two, you're packing a gun. And
Yeah.
if I'm a bad guy or someone that wanted to do something, right, nefarious, I'm going to go, he's who I need to take out first,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of my thing, right? Is you kind of give yourself away at certain points. And you know, for the backpack that you are carrying, if you are carrying a backpack, you know, preferably a nondescript bag. Like I have an Under Armour backpack that's just like a gray backpack, super normal. Looks like, you know, fits perfectly. Or like one of my favorite things is I have a gun bag. It's kind of like my, you know, if the house was burning down and I had to grab one bag and go type of thing.
Mm.
It's like a teal it's like a teal blue gym bag.
Yeah.
Like you know, and it's not overly heavy, so it's not like I'm straining with it, but it's like, you know, you just grab it and go, and then you know everyone would think you're just going to the gym. You know, that's like the guys that put the like AK pistols in like a Wilson racket bag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's super smart because like again, like also apply the concept of like, are you going somewhere where that wouldn't stand out, right? Wherever you're going. Like, yeah, you know, most people aren't going to to really think too hard about it. But also, if you're going into like, you know, your law office job with a tennis racket, is that normal? Like, I don't know, right? Just think about it. Like, is anyone going to? Is are people there going to be like, why did you bring in a tennis racket? You know, uh, um, but yeah, you know, just kind of think about that. The way you dress, the way you carry yourself. Um,
Yeah. My favorite thing is when the military dudes would walk into the gun shop, clean cut, all wearing the same like basic training jacket,
mhm.
or shirt or some stupid, shit like that. And then they would be like, "Oh, how'd you know I was in the military, sir?"
Yeah,
Well, and I'm all about having respect for people and saying "sir," "ma'am," things like that. But at some point, you do have to realize the profile you're giving off, and even um, like when I was in the military, you do have to get a clean cut haircut, all that BS. But I let my stubble grow out on the weekends. I let certain things go. I did let my sides get down a little bit, and that's all up to your command and up to your like what you got going on for what are they like who your sergeants are or whoever whoever's in charge of you. Um, and yeah, I mean, you can let little things go a little bit that way. You don't stand out too much.
see, I always looked at it as like my personal form of rebellion to kind of let my hair get as far as possible without getting caught until someone said something.
Right.
So,
When I tell you I had so much hair stuffed up underneath my cover, bro, it was disgusting.
dude, I don't even mean like the top. I mean like I just let like you know how the whole like, hey, don't let it touch your ears. Nah, dude. Like we're not touching any of it.
Yeah, I mean, my chief was
I'm
like
putting my
stupid.
cover on and I'm looking like it's the 70s.
My chief was stupid anal. So I had a clean cut, like an inch along my hairline, and then the top was just long.
But yeah. But yeah, so so yeah, definitely the little things like that, even little things like that, you can it's funny because like you can always tell in a certain way, like you're in an airport, right? You're looking around, you can tell like who's military. It's just there's just something about it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the way you carry yourself, the way you're dressed, are there certain brands that you wear all the time that are associated with certain things or not? Um, yeah, and again, know your audience, know who you're going to be around. If you're in a rural area and everyone dresses a certain way, you dress the opposite, that makes you stand out, right? If you're in an urban area instead of a rural area and you dress very rural, depending on what kind of urban area we're talking about, that definitely makes you stand out. That might make people think about it. The whole point, right, is to not be memorable, to not stand out in a crowd, to be just another face, right? And that's something I think that like the whole idea of like this gray man thing, unfortunately with like the tactical community and all the stuff on Instagram and all the things you can go out and buy, um, the gray man community has evolved into how much 511 crap can I wear and make people not know that I'm wearing 511 or similar, even other similar brands. It's like, oh yeah, super gray man. No one will know as I wear all 9 gun brand shirts that I paid $40 above what I should have for.
Yeah. And my Lucas Bakken T-Rex Arms hat and my Grantham flannel and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you look just like the guy that you are trying to, like when you're trying to dress just like Lucas or just like Grand Thumb or anything like that, when that's why when I can just look at you and tell that that's who you're impersonating with the way you're dressing, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, man, you're not really hiding it. Like
Yeah.
quintessential, like to me, like the quintessential version of this is, and the more realistic version, not the dude that's like all over the top stereotypical, but the more realistic version is you see it all the time. Guy walks in, he's got generally some type of military unit cap or something, a ball cap that's military or gun related, with a tactical looking style of sunglasses on his head. He's
Decently
got
fit. Yeah.
Yeah, decently fit, like a Black Rifle Coffee Company shirt. He's got an open flannel on top of it, rolled up like like operator sleeves, right? Like halfway up his forearm. He's wearing some type of tactical-ish pants and some type of boots, right? And he comes rolling into the gun shop like that, and I'm like, dude, you're not hiding it from anybody.
Yeah. Everyone knows that you have a gun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, man. Like you don't really, like my personal favorite example of like the most gray man person I've ever met in my life was a dude who started as a customer at the gun shop and eventually became an employee. And this guy comes in, and the first time I saw him, he had like a man bun style ponytail, barely poking out from like a really oversized beanie with a kind of stubbly beard going on, sleeveless t-shirt with some beer brand I didn't recognize on it, and kind of like a wife beater style sleeveless tee, some tats, and some like gray sweatpants and a fanny pack, right? Was thinking like this is some hippie dude coming in here to get a gun to go like, so he can go into the woods and be with nature and not worry about bears, right? And come to find out, that dude who I became pretty good friends with later was like super hardcore dude from his time in the military, and was just living like his whole hippie vet bro life. And like that dude didn't go anywhere without at least 2 or 3 guns on him. Like generally the fanny pack, which was all tie-dyed and looked all hippie and everything, there was like a 38 in there, P365 in his pocket, 226 on his hip, and he was skinny, like it's 4 o'clock, and he was skinny enough, and his clothes were baggy enough that it worked. Dude's got more guns on him than I've got with me, and looked just like a hippie douchebag, and you would have no idea. Like, you would have thought this dude was passing a peace pipe and leading the bongo circle.
He probably was though.
Oh, I mean, probably. I mean, like, why not do both, right? But, but that was the thing. I never in a million years would have assumed this guy again.
Yeah. 100%, man. So I think that about covers it for this episode, guys. Gray man, blend in. Don't be a douche. Carry the stuff you do need, though. In my fanny pack, I did carry a gun, a mag, and also a tourniquet, some sort of medical. So don't just be like, oh, I need to be super gray man, and then not be able to carry any gear with you. That's not what I'm talking about.
Don't sacrifice capability for concealability in that sense. Like, if you like, the whole point of this, right, is just to use your head. I'm not saying you have to look like a hippie everywhere you go and not, let anyone know ever that you might possibly be dressed in a way that you're carrying a gun, right? Who cares? For the most part, a lot of people out there, and it's funny that we're saying this too, but actually a lot of people out there are pretty stupid. People worry about printing a whole lot, like when you're carrying a gun. Most people aren't ever going to notice that. Really, the only people that are other gun guys. And I think a lot of this too is we're talking from someone who carries a gun. We're looking around, and we're noticing other people who probably have a gun and making those connections. Your average person's going to have no freaking clue. They don't care. They're not looking at you. They're too busy in their phone. So yeah, take everything we say with a grain of salt. Do what's best for you. Just try not to be that guy that looks like you're a walking billboard for gun advertisement.
If you look like you belong in what is it, the Hellcat? You look like you belong in a Hellcat commercial.
Yeah. If you look like you should be featured as a DLC character for Modern Warfare 2.
Springfield is they have enough actors.
Yeah, like let's chill it. Yeah. But anyway, today's a little bit shorter one. Just kind of wanted to get some stuff out there, kind of brush up on a few other things. Again, the concept is to try to blend, right? Use the concepts of camouflage to blend into your local area. That applies to more than just your camouflage that you wear out in the woods. You could have all the latest and greatest cry, multicam, whatever, and it doesn't matter, because when you go to town, you're not going to be wearing your Cry G3 multicam pants to go get milk. And if you are, you had it coming.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, this one was a little bit shorter, but it is what it is. So thanks for listening to us. Thanks for putting up with us. Anyone in Montana listening, let's get that balloon down, guys. Like, come on. For real. RC drone and a fork. Let's go. Yeah. Somebody has a harpoon gun. Okay.
Someone.
So it's Montana. Someone there has a plane and a gun. I've seen Yellowstone. Wrong state. I know. Let's figure this out. All right. Anyway, guys, stay safe, stay prepared. Weird times are out there. It's going to get weird. 2023 is off to a crazy start.
Weirder times are coming.
Absolutely. Hopefully it doesn't get weird enough to where we're not still doing a podcast. So fingers crossed.
I'm tired of working for a living.
Yeah. Same.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. See you next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.